another advanced class and very, very difficult halachot. Perek tet vav, halachat tet, Perek tet, halachat tet vav, hilchot isory biאה. Perek tet, halachat tet vav, very difficult class, only for advanced students. Haro'a ketem, ואחר כך ראתה דם. She saw a ketem, and then afterwards she saw dam. I'm explaining it my way, and I know that this isn't necessarily the way that others explain it, and it could be that the other explanations are better. But this is what I understand. So she saw a ketem. Now, normally we said that if she sees a ketem 3 times, and during the days of the ziva, she's safek zava. We said that in halacha yod bet, hayeta loveshet haluk echad, בשעה עליה 3 ימים או יותר בלא נידתה. Right, so this is during the 11 days of Ziva. ובדקה ומסיעה עליו 3 כתמים, או כתם אחד גדול שיש בו שיעור 3 כתמים, that is also safek zava. Right, so we know that 3 ketamim during the 11 days makes her safek zava. So here we're saying, haro'a ketem. And then in Halakha Yodali we said that also you can combine the ketem with re'iyot. So for example, Masi'ah ketem, one day, and then the next 2 days she had the re'iyat dam, or another type of combination, or she'at hashani yamim, or she's had 2 days of re'iyah, or b'yom shlishi Masi'ah ketem, right? So in all these cases, she is safek zava. She has the status of safek zava. That's the inyan tum'ah v'tara, because the point is, now why don't you just say she's zava? Because she had ketem, right? The answer is because the ketem doesn't really make her teme'ah de'oraita, right? Since the ketem is derabanan, de'oraita is not considered a re'iyah. So that's why she has the status of safek zava. It's a status. It's not that there's a safek here. We know exactly what happened. She had 2 days of ketamim, for example, and 1 day of re'iyah, or 2 days of re'iyah, and 1 day of ketamim. It's not safek zava as a factual matter, but she has the legal status of safek zava, and therefore if she touches terumot, or if she touches kadashim, the law would be as if although a safek zava touched terumot and kadashim, and then we would act according to the law of safek, right? That's why it's so important, safek zava. But now back to our halacha, which was a very difficult halacha. Haro'a ketem, ואחר כך ראתה דם. תולה kitma bir'iyata kol me'et le'et. If the ketem is within 24 hours of the re'iyah, then we do a kula. Even if it's on 2 different days, by the way. But if it's me'et le'et, if it's within 24 hours, we give it the status of 1 re'iyah. Meaning it's only considered 1 out of the 3 days that she saw dam ziva, right? Again, this is predicated upon the fact that the ketamim is anyway tehora, right? It's the Rabbanan that said that kitma is tameh. And therefore we're saying that if she had a ketem, and then within 24 hours she saw dam, we make a presumption. It's not a factual presumption, it's a legal presumption. The legal presumption is that re'iyah of the dam is the same re'iyah of the ketem. Ben shebadika asma be'et shemasi'ah ketem u'masi'ah tahor, ben shelo badika. Now what do I care whether badika or not badika? She had the ketem. Right? And we say, in Badikas ma bet shemasi'ah ketem u'masi'ah tahor. But what do I care shemasi'ah tahor? She had a ketem. If the ketem is like re'iyat ziva, let's say a woman during the 11 days has a re'iyah, and after the re'iyah, Badikas asma u'masi'ah tahor, she's still going to be considered zavat ketana, right? It's still going to be considered 1 out of 3 days. But again, because the ketem itself is derabanan, they said that if badika asma be'et shemasi'ah ketem u'masi'ah tahor, or lo badika asma, right, and then afterwards she had a regular re'iyah, the two emissions, one re'iyah regila with hargasha, the other an emission without hargasha, are mistarifim, and they considered 1 emission, and therefore she only has 1 out of the 3 days for the zava gedola satisfied. But we only do that when we have the iyat dam achar ketem. then we have that kula, and we say that we're tolim the ketem to the re'iyatam. And why do we do that? Because the re'iyatam is the ikar, tum'ah. So we're going to be mistarefim the tum'ah de rabbanan to the tum'ah de oraita. We're going to say that it's one re'iyah. But if it's ketem achar ketem, בתוך 24 שעות, אין התולה ketem bechetem, then you don't say that we're going to be tole one ketem and then other ketem, and then it's going to be only one re'iyah, but rather it's considered two re'iyot, because in this case, the two ketamim are of equal status, right? But when do we say that we're not toling one ketem to the other ketem if there was no bedika in the middle? But if she made a bedika between the two ketamim, she mifsika ta'ala ben ketamim and mistarefim leminyan zivut. In that case, they're not mistarefim leminyan zivut. And why do we do that? How does that make any sense? Because since she did the bedika after the first ketem, and she didn't find any blood, we assume that it wasn't from the Rahim, it was from somewhere else, right? So again, because it's the Rabbanan, him amru v'him amru, they can define the law as they want to define it, right? So going back to the beginning of the halakha, again, haru'a ketem, she saw a ketem, v'hakach la'at adam, and then she had re'iyat mamash dam b'hargasha. Tola kitma b're'iyata, we say that we collapse the two damim into one dam, right? And therefore it's only 1 out of 3 days of ziva are satisfied. Kol me'et le'et, assuming again that the re'iyah was within 24 hours of the ketem. And then shebadika asma bet shemasiha ketem u'masiha tahor, then shelo badika. We're not requiring as a condition to collapse the two damim into one dam that she does a bedika. Because by doing the bedika, she can then establish that the original ketem was mibahus, was something from outside. We don't need that in this case, because again, you have the re'iyah, which is the oraita, and you have the ketem, which is the rabbanan, and you say the ketem, which is the rabbanan, is collapsed into the re'iyah, which is the oraita. That's the kula, when it's me'ait le'ait. It's a special kula that they did in this case. Aval, haru'a ketem achar ketem, but if it's two ketamim, בתוך 24 שעות, אינה תולה ketem bechetem. We don't do that kula, but we have another kula. אלא אם כן בדיקה ביניהם. But if she did bedika benehen, then we have another kula in the case of ketem achar ketem. She mifsika ta'ala ben ketamim and mistarefim leminyan zivut. If she did the bedika between the ketamim and she found no blood, then we assume that the first ketem was davar mibahus, some sort of insect, mosquito, or whatever it was. Right? So getting back now to the halakha. הלכה י"ב, הייתה לובשת חלוק אחד ושהה עליה 3 ימים או יותר בלא את נידתה ובדקה מסיעה עליו 3 כתמים או כתם אחד גדול שיש פה 3 כתמים, הרי זו ספק זבה. We explained that, right? But here we learned the kula that if the two re'iyot were within 24 hours and she made a bedika between the two re'iyot, then the first re'iyah is annulled. That's what it comes out. Right, very nice.